Welcome to FBC Kids Virtual Worship. This is episode 3. I hope you're ready to get started. All right, we're here at the Big City Fueling Station, and we're going to do our boys versus girls competition. So our guests today, well, just introduce yourself. All right, let's start over here.
Hi, I'm Clark.
I'm Violet. I'm Lavender. I'm Neil.
Neil, and they're brother and sisters, and well, brothers and sisters. And so our game today with the boys versus girl competition is from Amazon. It's the lightning reaction, and so it's electrifying game today. So I know I hate this game and this is just the truth, I really do hate this game. I haven't even played this game yet because it scares me. I'm one of those guys, when I was a kid, I wouldn't even take the battery and put it to my tongue, you know, the square batteries, to see if it works. Yeah, I'm weak. I'm very weak. I'm like you, Clark. We're gonna fit in really well together. All right, so here, I'm just kidding, Clark. Come on, Neil. Let's show them how this is done. Will it be the boys or the girls? So this is how the game works. You just simply turn it on. I'm gonna go ahead and show you this. So what you wanna do is turn it on here, and then you can turn up the level of shocking you want. This sounds like a brutal game for your family to play, but you know, you're stuck at home and you're probably tired of your kids, so this might be a great game for you to play with your kids, just to take out your frustration, you know? So, I'm just kidding. All right, so we're not gonna put it on a 4. We're gonna start off with, let's just do a 1, all right? And then what we do is we press this button to let them know how many players. So it could be 2 players or 4 players. We obviously need 4. We're gonna set it in the center, and it's going to get electrified. So take one of these, and what they're gonna do is hold this in their hand, and they're not gonna touch the button. They're gonna hold it like this, and then the timer's gonna start. And when it stops, the last one to click the button will get shocked. Everybody else will be safe. So they're not to click the button until the light stops and it's time to click the button. It's pretty self-explanatory. All right, are we ready? Are you ready? Are you all okay?
Yeah.
No, y'all are so somber. I don't know what to think. You're just focused. All right, get those thumbs up. Get the thumbs up. Thumbs up, grip. This guy right here has been a sissy about this. We were practicing, and I know you're scared, but you gotta keep it together. All right, here we go. Woo. Remember, don't drop it. If it shocks you, just deal with it. Best out of 3. Who will it be, boys or the girls?
Oh.
Who got it? Was that you, Neil?
You dropped it again.
He got shocked so bad you dropped it. All right, so ladies are in the lead. Are we ready? So we're gonna turn this up. Okay, let's turn it up. Let's turn it up to a 2. All right, are y'all okay with that? Mm-hmm. Are y'all nervous?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, you are. Woo-hoo. Here we go. Squeeze that handle, big boy. Thumb up, thumb up. All right, who will win, boys? Was it you again? Was it you again, Neil?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
How about we do best out of 5, huh?
Okay.
Is that all right? I'm trying to help you, man. Come on.
Turning up.
Turn it up to a 3. A 3. We ready? And just to make sure something's not glitching, let's swap it. Everybody move around the table. This is gonna get good. This is gonna get good. It's a 3, so it's gonna be a little more of a shock for you. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Who will get shocked first? Ooh, I'm so nervous. And
Oh, I got it.
you didn't react too well.
You're just like, oh, I got it.
It was like, who cares? So obviously we don't have it turned up enough. So we're gonna turn it up to a 4. You see that? A 4. And if that's not a good enough jolt for you, I got a plan, okay? So All right, so it's 2 points for the girls and 1 point for the guys. So we're at a number 4, and that's pretty much the highest we can go, I think, on there. So let's see how it works. You ready? Thumbs up. Ooh, who's going to get shocked? Oh, Neil! Oh, Neil, the weakest link. So that means the ladies are at 3 and the guys are at 1. So pretty much, do you guys wanna go for another round? Sure. You sure? Can we hit? All right. Let's add to it. All right, here we go. I figured we need to spice it up since there's no more levels. Let's just do this, okay? Is that good? That's it. Is this right? Should we do this? Is this? Just kidding. We're not gonna do that. You didn't even seem nervous. This is like the girls are the toughest today. So, I think we are at the maximum right now. This is the highest we can go. So, Neil, quit messing up, man. Should we shuffle, you guys? Shuffle. All right, there we go.
Go over here.
What are you doing, Clark?
Well, you said shuffle, not turn around.
Yeah. The biggest challenge of this game was just to swap. All right, here we go. You ready, Clark? You with me? Neil? Okay. So the girls have what, 3?
Yeah.
And the guys have 1? There's really no point even going on, but let's do it.
Violet, thumb up.
Thumb up, Violet.
Thumb up.
Ooh. Who will it be? They're so focused. Oh!
I got it.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Oh!
I got it.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
2 to 3. 2 to 3, right?
Yeah.
All right. So it's the best out of 5, right? That's what we changed it to. So let's go again. We might get a tie, right? Okay. 3. You ready? Are you ready?
Ready.
This is going to determine everything.
Thumb up. Thumb up.
Thumb up. Did you get it? So it's 3 to 3?
Yeah.
We're tied?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Can we shuffle without confusion? Clark,
Yes.
are you okay with that?
Yeah.
All right, well, here we go. Okay. All right, this is it. Who will win, the boys or the girls? Last round. Man, we've done so many, I'm just completely confused where we're at, but at least we know we're a tie and we're gonna break the tie. He's gonna press it first.
Oh, I got it again.
Ah!
Oh, I got it again.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. It is the boys right here. Don't leave me hanging. It's embarrassing. All right, that's it. Boys versus girls. If you got nothing to do at home, which you probably don't, go on Amazon. It's a long wait for everything on Amazon, and get you the lightning reaction and be good for your family. It's a good game, isn't it? Keeps you on your toes. You girls don't think so? Oh, you're gonna get shocked, so it doesn't matter to you. Hey, that's it for boys versus girls.
Hello, mabuhay!
Mabuhay!
We are the Hauser family here in the Philippines, and we wanted to say hello to all the FBC kids. Hi, let's say hi.
Hi!
It is good to see you. Mabuhay is like hello in Tagalog. That's the language we speak here in the Philippines. And today I wanted to tell you a little bit about what we do in the Philippines. We're also stuck in our house. We are on quarantine just like you guys, but we're trying to do some good things to reach people in our community. We've been collecting food and bringing food to those people who don't have much food right now because they can't go to work. We've also been having our church services online. So I hope that you'll pray for our church, City Baptist Church, right here in Metro Manila, Philippines. Well, I wanted to show you guys a few things that my kids have to show you from the Philippines, unique things here in the Philippines. So Blaine, what are you going to show us?
This is a fresh mango from the Philippines. In Tagalog, it's called manga.
Wow, very good, Blaine. Esther, what do you have to show?
This is rice, and in Filipino they call it bigas, and it's most of a lot of Filipinos' favorite food.
Wow, Filipinos all love rice, yes. What do you have, Carson? Show it up really high. What is this?
100 pesos in Tagalog. It's called isang daan.
Wow, isang daan is 100 pesos. This is about $2 in American money. Adeline, what do you have?
This is a Jollibee toy. Jollibee is a restaurant, and you can eat like fried chicken or rice or spaghetti.
Wow, they have all kinds of yummy food at Jollibee. Actually, Filipino kids love Jollibee even more than McDonald's. I have a few things to show here. Here is a calamansi. It's like a Filipino lime. It's something that we like to squeeze into water to make kind of like lemonade. I have another thing here. It's kind of a funny thing. What is this, Adeline? Say it really loud.
It's a walis ting ting.
Walis ting ting. It's like a broom for outside. It's kind of crazy looking, but they're really good. They work really good. Maybe your mom and dad would like one of those. But we wanted to show you just a few things from the Philippines, and thank you for letting us talk to you a little bit about our country where we serve. Keep praying for us, and I pray that you'll continue to have a great time on FBC Kids Online. All right, guys? We'll see you later. Let's say bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. In Tagalog, that's paalam.
Paalam.
All right, see you guys later. Have a great time in FBC Kids.
If you've been joining us for the FBC Kids virtual worship, then you've probably learned real fast that we are going through what's called the Gospel Project. It's from the beginning of the Bible to the end of the Bible, but where we're at in the Bible right now is 1 Samuel and 2 Samuel. We've been studying David. See, David was a shepherd, and then he moved up to be king. He was anointed a king, and then after that, he killed Goliath. And when he killed Goliath, the king that was already in place, Saul, was so angry and so jealous because the people loved David. They would say, Saul killed his thousands, but David killed his tens of thousands. And this changed everything for the life of David. We begin to learn that David was in fear of his life because Saul now hated David. And David went on the run with what's called his mighty men. And they were hiding out from the cave to the wilderness. And through it all, God protected David. And David even showed mercy to Saul. And it was at that point that everything changed for David's life. And we're going to find out right now. All right, today's lesson is still in Samuel. It's actually in 2 Samuel chapter 7 and chapter 6. We're going to start in chapter 6 and then work our way through chapter 7. It's called God's covenant with David. What is a covenant? Well, a covenant is a promise. It's a promise that God has made to his people. And God has made a promise to us. When we become believers in Jesus, that means when you become a Christian and ask Jesus in your life, he'll never leave you or forsake you. You are saved until you stand face to face with Jesus one day. Even if you mess up, because you have the Holy Spirit living in you, he convicts you. That means he makes you realize that you're living the wrong way so you can get right with God and continue a wonderful relationship with him. Because he made a covenant with you that you are his forever. And he made a covenant with David too. So let's check it out together. David was talking with a man by the name of Nathan. Nathan is another prophet. We remember a prophet beforehand that came and anointed David's head with oil when he became king. Well, this is not the same prophet. This man is named Nathan. And Nathan was a prophet that would work and minister and help David while he was king. Now, in the palace, David was living. And while he was living there, he became very upset. He was thinking about the fact that he had everything. I mean, like, it's a palace, which is another word for kingdom. And everything he needed was there. He had the servants, he had the food, he had the beautiful decor, and his clothes were like legit. Too legit to quit. Anyway, the point is this. He was thinking, why am I getting everything I need, but God is living in a tent? You say, what in the world? Living in a tent? How can God live in a tent? Well, it's called the Ark of the Covenant. He asked the question, shouldn't God have a nicer house than I do? David wanted to build a temple for the Ark of the Covenant. You're probably wondering, what in the world is the Ark of the Covenant? If you watch the movie called Indiana Jones, you probably remember there was the Ark of the Covenant that they discovered. Well, the reality is nobody knows where the Ark of the Covenant is today. But back in the time of David, and even before that, the Ark of the Covenant was very special. It was a large box with what's called cherub angels on top with their angel wings pointing to each other. It was placed in this tent that was going to and fro throughout the wilderness when the children of Israel left Egypt. They carried this with them and would set it up when they would set up camp, and they would put the Ark of the Covenant inside. And the Ark of the Covenant represented the presence of God. If we get really deep, it would be called the Shekinah glory of God, which just means the presence of God. And that was a very special location. That right there was the place where people would go to get their sins forgiven, and God would reveal himself to the people. And there, the Ark of the Covenant would show, again, the presence of God. Well, they're no longer traveling in the wilderness. They're no longer looking for a home. They've already have a home. It's established, and everything is pretty much set in place. And this is a wonderful time for David because there's no more war and discord. David is set up as king. Saul has passed away, and the sad thing is, Jonathan, his best friend, died too. But David was satisfied with his family and his home, but he wasn't satisfied with the Ark of the Covenant being placed in a tent like it used to back years ago when they would travel through the wilderness. He thought, it's time to make a house for God's tabernacle, and we'll call it a temple. And the temple will be the place where God will be.
Hello, Nathan. I just found myself needing to get out of the palace. I came out here to write a few psalms and play my harp. It's been some time since I've played. A lot on my mind. Nathan, I know that you are a prophet and you speak to God. A great man of God you are. But have you ever been camping before?
Have I ever been camping? That's an that's an interesting question. Kind of a weird question, but years ago, when I was a lad, I remember going camping when I was a part of the Israelite Scouts. That's the last time I went. I can't ever forget it because these creatures would always climb into my tent, you know, and they were like woodland creatures, but not like squirrels, like crazy-looking things. And I would always think, how'd they get in here? Come to find out, you know, it was those Philistines. They were sending them through our little campsite. Always been a problem, them Philistines. Anyway, yeah, I've been camping, and to be
Nathan,
what?
I don't mean to be rude or... Oh, my mother got me this harp. Oh, the pearls are falling off. Good grief. I don't mean to be rude, but Nathan, the fact is, I don't really care about your camping experience. I was trying to make a point. The point is that camping is dreadful, and that's why I would never want to do it. It's got mosquitoes and bugs and no bathroom for you to go party, and God would not want us to live like that. I know I wouldn't. I lived in the wilderness. One time I even lived in a cave. Long story. Spiders were
part of that story, and they were huge. I just think that camping is insufficient for anyone. I don't mean any disrespect, you know. I'm not one of those guys that disrespect people. I am a prophet, and I just have to ask you a few questions. First of all, why are we talking about camping? I mean, it's a weird topic. No, I'm babbling on, I know. It's just thinking about God, the presence of God, the Ark of the Covenant, that is. He's in a tent. The Ark of the Covenant, which is the presence of God, is in a tent, while I, the king, am in a palace. It makes no sense. Nobody should have to be living in a tent and camping every day of their life. We had the Ark of the Covenant in a tent for years. Our forefathers did. And now? Why? Why should he remain in a tent? It makes no sense for the Ark to be camping out while I, the king, am in a castle, a palace made of cedar. Which reminds me, I think I might be allergic to cedar. My eyes and my nose have been running. It's been dreadful. Needless to say, I want to change it. Well, what is it exactly you want to do there, King? I mean, you got a plan? You got an idea? I mean, give me something. Well, Nathan, I'd like to make God a house, a temple, and make it beautiful, and where everybody can come and worship. It would be a great idea because he would no longer have to stay in a tent, camping out. Instead, he could have a home like me. He deserves it. It is the Ark of the Covenant, the presence of God. King, listen. You're the biggest guy on campus, if you would, you know? I mean, you're the man, and if you feel like that the tent is not sufficient for the Ark of the Covenant, you're in charge. Just do whatever you want. I mean, it's up to you, you know? Camping or a temple. I do what you think is best. That's what I think. That's what I would do, and I think God would give you a thumbs up too. I'm glad you said that because I've already met with some of my men and got some blueprints and I plan to build him a home. I just didn't know where to start. But now that you've said thumbs up, I believe I'll get started right away. Thank you, Nathan.
Well, it probably didn't go exactly like that, but in that goofy way of showing it, it was something similar to that because Nathan did meet with David, and King David was upset that the Ark of the Covenant was still being put in a tent when it should have been put in a house, which would have been called a temple, and something needed to be done. Well, Nathan, being a prophet, said, thumbs up, go for it. You know, I think it's a good idea. But it was that night that God showed up and had a talk with Nathan. You see, being a prophet means you're different from the others. You had a very special relationship with God, and that's why God spoke directly to Nathan about this situation. And when he talked to him, he basically was saying to Nathan, hey, listen, I understand that David wants to build me a temple, a house, but I am not asking for that. For a matter of fact, I've been in a tent for years. And did I ever ask anybody to build me a temple, a house? No. The fact of the matter is, I am such a big God that I took David from being a shepherd boy to being a king. And because I am such a big God, I know exactly what I need. And I know exactly what the future holds. Let me just remind you, God knows exactly what you need, and he knows exactly what the future holds. So when you're sitting around watching the news with your parents, if you do that, which sounds very boring to me, or maybe you're online and you're seeing all kinds of things like about the coronavirus, just remember, God's in control of all things. And no matter what ideas you have in your head, God already knows what to do and how to do it. David had a lot of ideas in his head for God and what he thought God needed. And we think we need to tell God what he needs to do. But the reality is God already knows what we need, and he knows already how to do it. Before we even pray, God knows what we need, but we're his children, and so it's important for us to seek God and talk to God and tell him how we're feeling. Now, going back to this, David was a shepherd boy, and God was big enough to take him from being a shepherd to being a king. And the point is that God knew what was in store for David. He had some big plans for David. And part of those big plans was to have other kings come from the descendants of David. In other words, David was king, and his grandson, well, his son, and then his grandson, and his great-grandson will become king as well. But right now, David needed to focus on doing what he was meant to do, not building a temple, because in the future, when all of these people become from his lineage, if you would, become kings, they would all have special jobs, duties, responsibilities. One of them being his son, Solomon. Solomon is the man that's going to build the temple. Well, David didn't know that, but Nathan was about to tell him everything's going to change, but not right now. God is not going to be in this tent any longer. Well, the Ark of the Covenant. And there will be a temple, and there will be another king when you die. And that king is going to be your boy, and he's the one that's going to build the temple. He don't need you to figure it out, David. You calm down, quit stressing and worrying about the way things are. Let God take care of it, because if he's a big enough God to take you from being a shepherd to being a king, he's a big enough God to know exactly when the temple, the house of God, should be built. And then it happened. David found out.
Well, hello, Nathan. I didn't think you would be here today. David. Last night, I see you've already started on your blueprints here. Last night, I gotta tell you, I had a talk with God. And it's a very important talk. I'm gonna tell you right now, it was a good talk, but it's talk about what you got going on. Well, if you talked to God last night, what did he say? Is he happy with the idea of building him a temple? We got to put a stop to the whole building of the temple. You know, I know we had a talk about your camping experiences and how you feel that's a horrible idea for God, the Ark of the Covenant, to stay in the temple. Well, what you want is a temple, but stay in the tent. But what's going to happen is you got to put a stop to it.
Excuse me. Sorry, boss. Just trying to check on some things real quick here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to make sure everything is just right. So we might have a little bit of a problem. Yeah. Does it matter if the beams aren't necessarily level? I'm not saying they're not, but they may be off just a little bit. And I'm gonna tell you something. I got an eye for building, and that's why I wear these safety glasses to protect my eyes, if you know what I mean. But
You know that we just admit it, Nathan. You know that we have to have every beam, every board straight. You know this.
Oh, so you're saying it's not a good idea to have a beam maybe a little off level. Okay, no problem. Who's your friend here?
It's just Nathan. Just go, okay? We've got so much to do. Take your lunch break if you need to.
There's two of them. I know what I see. I can see clearly. There's two of them. Is this your brother? Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Brother, hey Nathan, good to meet you. Well, sometimes I don't see clearly, but I can tell you right now, these two are brothers. They're identical twins. Beautiful, I tell you. I'm gonna go to lunch, and I'm gonna get you some juice or whatever you need. If you need water.
No, I'm fine. Maybe some juice, but just go.
I like to use my thumb, you know what I'm saying? Sorry about that. Oh, I just poked my thumb in the other eye. That's alright.
Nathan, I'm trying to understand this, but it's difficult. Solomon, my son, is going to build the temple. He's a baby. How's a baby with baby hands going to build a temple? How's that make any sense at all?
I know he's a kid, a baby. And by the way, you gotta burp the babies, you gotta love the babies so they grow up to be healthy men. But your son is going to be, get this, he's gonna be the next king. And then he's gonna have a son that's gonna be a king. And you're gonna have a lot of kings come out of your family. And it's gonna be a beautiful thing. It's gonna be a wonderful thing. And I'm supposed to tell you about that. And also, you gotta ask yourself this question, because God said, ask you, did I make you a king when you were once a shepherd boy? Yeah, because God can do anything, so he don't need you to make him a house. No offense. Good idea. But he's got big plans for your son Solomon.
I had no idea, Nathan, that God would allow my son and my grandson or whoever else in my family to be a king. Oh, I am so unworthy. And to think that God took me from being a shepherd boy and made me a king. I understand that, Nathan. Whatever he wants of me, I am willing to do, and I will stop building this temple and allow my men to discontinue all of they've done.
So Nathan told David everything God had to say. Wow. I bet King David was like, I really thought this was going to be an amazing thing, you know? Kind of like that clip you just saw, which was kind of a silly way of looking at it. But the fact is, David had some plans in place, but it wasn't what God had in place. You know, the biggest thing that David learned was, your son is not just going to be a king, and your grandson's not just going to be a king, but if you fast way forward all the way to what we call as the New Testament, you're going to learn that your great-great-great-great-great-grandson is going to be the Messiah. I bet some of you didn't know that. King David's great-great-great-great-great-grandson was Jesus. That's right. Someone in your family will be king forever. And that's what was told David. David was thinking, wow, that is amazing. You mean I'm not only going to have my son to be the king and his son to be the king, but way in the future, the King of Kings is going to be born. Now we know that Jesus, Heavenly Father, is God, but his earthly father is Joseph. It's really confusing sometimes when you think about it. And Joseph's great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was King David. Hence, Jesus, the Messiah, is going to be the great-great-great-grandson of King David. David was so overwhelmed by this news because this is big stuff. He said in his prayer, God, I don't deserve anything you've done for me. And these promises are much more than I could ever imagine. And he says to him, please, God, keep this promise. I want this in my life. You are so good to me and you are so kind to me. And he was so grateful. But he said this, I know your words are always true. In other words, I trust you. I'm not going to try to figure it out on my own. You know what's best. You're God. You made me from a shepherd to a king. And you know when you need a temple, a house, versus a tent. Sometimes we need to just slow down in life and start trusting God because he knows what your future holds. And everything's going to work out if you just trust God and do what you're supposed to do. And God will bless you. That means put great things in your life, just like he did for David. And in the future, some wonderful things will happen for your family too. Just wait and see. It probably won't be as big as having the Messiah born in your family, but it still will be great. Just by trusting God. It's a wonderful thing. It's time for Letters to Leonard. I hope you're ready. Check it out.
Yes, sir. Well, I understand, sir. I'm doing my very best, I promise. No, that was nothing, sir. Well, I promise. It was just, maybe a mouse. I'll do my best to get more emails in. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. I'm sorry. I'll do better. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. Yes, bye-bye. Oh, come on. Listen, I get nervous sometimes, and when I do, if you know me from Vacation Bible School, I'll let off a gas bubble. And it's not a good thing. You just saw it go up in the air. And you're probably wondering, why are you nervous? Well, I just having a hard time. Let me go over here. The reason I'm having a hard time is my boss needs more emails to come in. And I told him I'm doing my best. I'm answering all the emails that come in, but it just doesn't seem good enough. So I got nervous. I'm sure you've been nervous before, and hopefully you don't let off a gas bubble because only people from my planet do that. Gobbledygook planet. Well, I know I shouldn't get nervous about things. I should just trust. Trust God just like you do on Earth. And I'm going to trust that I get a lot more emails in so my boss is not upset with me. Speaking of emails, let's see here. Oh, looky here. Ethan, how often do you get a haircut? Well, that's a great question because humans get a haircut probably once every 3 weeks or so. I don't really get haircuts. We don't get haircuts because we like our fur to grow. And it don't get much longer than this right here, Ethan. Let me see here. Well, that's an interesting question. Cade asked the question, what is cheese? Well, what is cheese? I'm not really sure on your planet how cheese works. I know how it works on my planet, but I'm gonna guess. I think on your planet, maybe cheese comes from llamas. Yeah, llamas. They probably milk a llama and then take the cheese from that. I'm guessing. Somebody said it came from cows, but I thought chocolate milk came from cows, so I doubt that's true. All right, let me see here. I got some great questions. Why are you teaching? Mason asked the question, Leonard, why are you teaching? Well, right now I'm not really teaching. I'm just answering questions. But when I do teach, I like to tell people about the creator of the world. That's right. He created everything, and his name is God. And he loves everybody, especially you on earth, because he sent his son Jesus to die for each one of you so you could have a new life in Jesus Christ. Yeah, so you don't have to worry like I was worrying when I was talking to my boss. It's the best thing in the world not to worry, and it's really easy not to worry when you have Jesus in your life. Well, let's go over here. Let's see here. Oh, it looks like, well, looks like Renee asked the question, do you like let's see, well, let me look at that again. Do you like three-way from Skyline? Well, we don't have Skyline here, and I'm sure somewhere in the South they don't either. I've heard they only have it really around where you guys had Vacation Bible School in Columbus, Ohio. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm not a real big fan of Skyline, but if you like it, that's great. Anyway, my next question came from Lakin. She said, Leonard, are you Mr. Dave from Vacation Bible School at Fellowship Baptist Church in Columbus, Ohio? Well, that's a weird question because I'm blue and I live on Gobbledygook and, well, I'm hairy, and, well, I'm only like 3 foot tall. Now, some people may make a joke right there because Pastor Dave is not real tall. But to me, he's a giant. Anyway, no, Lakin, and I'll tell you what you need to do, Lakin. Tune in for episode 4. Episode 4, because on episode 4, I'm going to answer a question by Braden. He said, do you like to wrestle? And I'm going to show you a video from when I was at Vacation Bible School in Columbus, Ohio, where I actually wrestled Pastor Dave. And you're going to like it because I can answer Lakin's question and I can answer Braden's question. If I can wrestle, well, you'll find out. If you have questions for me, please email me. Email the email that's located at the bottom of your screen, and I'll answer any questions you have. Well, I'll do my best, and I don't always have the right answer, but I hope you email me so my boss don't get on to me and I don't let off any more gas bubbles. Anyway, have a good day, and we'll see you next time for episode 4, and that's when you'll get to see me wrestle Pastor Dave. It's going to be great. All right, see ya. Woo!
Join us for episode 4. It's our special edition of Easter, and you are going to love it because we're celebrating Easter in a whole new way, and we're kicking things off right here. This is going to be an epic episode. Episode 4. It's our special edition. Special edition because it's Easter Sunday. And we're celebrating Easter in a whole new way. I said it before, I'll say it again, because we're not doing it just like a normal way. Because we are going to go right here and kick things off in this pond with a little thing that we call water egg hunt. That's right, it's crazy. And you just gotta tune in to find out what we do. But not only that, we have a special guest on that day, Jeremy Stanley. He's national champion juggler, and he's going to be joining us to bring a presentation of the gospel because we're focusing on the celebration of the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. It's a special day because Easter is all about the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And on that day, that juggler is going to perform in a way that you've never seen before. He's going to bring to life the story of Jesus Christ through an incredible performance of juggling. You gotta be here to see it. He's been performing all over the nation, and he's gonna be here just for you. So tune in, because you don't wanna miss your opportunity. But that's not all that's gonna take place this Easter, because we plan on episode 4 egging somebody's house. That's right, on Easter Sunday, imagine that. We're gonna egg your house. That's if you win in the drawing. All you have to do is like the Facebook page and text below that you shared it. That's right, the number below. Text and let us know that you liked it and you shared it. And that way your name will be in the drawing for an opportunity to get your house egged. You say, I don't want my house egged. You do, because we're gonna drop off a bucket of eggs and candy at your house so you can do an Easter egg hunt. We're picking 5 people out of the drawing to drop that off at their house so they can have an awesome day of an egg hunt at your own house. You don't have to go anywhere. Also, we're giving away, that's right, 4 Easter baskets. Giant Easter baskets filled with all kinds of stuff. And you're gonna love it because you don't have to go to the store to buy one thing. Well, at least your parents will like it. So, like the page. That's right, like the Facebook page, share it, and text below, I shared it, or I liked it. Either one is good enough. Just make sure you text below, I liked it, or I shared it, and your name will be in the drawing this coming Sunday. Don't miss your chance. All right, that's it for episode 3. We'll see ya when we all get back together for episode 4, the special edition, Easter edition. Remember, bald is beautiful. See you next week.